HP EliteBook 840 G11. I absolutely love this machine. This is not a sponsored channel, not a sponsored video. I'm not selling you anything. If you're on a market for a business class laptop, you're looking for a true workhorse for the next 6 to 8 years, you have $1,000, look no further. This thing is on sale. I'm not sure for how long, but the specs what we are getting for $1,000, it's unbelievable as of today. We have an Ultra 7 155H CPU with two 8 gig stick, and therefore everything is running in dual channel, and that's a requirement for the Intel Arc integrated GPU, and that's what we have. It's a punch in a bag. I absolutely love it. We are actually capable to run some games in a mid settings if it comes down to that, which means we can do maybe a light video editing or light photo editing. This thing is super powerful. We have a 1 terabyte drive, we have 5 megapixel webcam, we have a backlit keyboard, a spill resistant backlit keyboard in here, and the screen is a 400 nit non-touch screen. What it's on sale, this one is a 300 nit screen with a touch screen. If you are familiar with a touchscreen, you're somebody who needs it, just like one of my clients who's going to do technically representation on this particular laptop. He's going to go into a conference room, project the screen wirelessly to a TV or a projector, and use his finger to slide through different things on a screen. This is what he needed. That's great. If you are not somebody who needs a touchscreen, you're just thinking about, oh, maybe it's a cool feature, maybe I'm going to like it, do not get it, because the view angle, the screen quality is definitely lower than the 400 nit screen. Like the nits stand for screen brightness. A lot of people think like, maybe the 400 nit screen, I don't need that because I'm not going to work outside, I'm going to work in my office, so a 250 300 nit screen would be fine for me. However, you're getting a package deal. The 300 nit screen is very basic, the view angle is basic on it, and it's not really color accurate. The 400 nit screen is not only brighter, but the view angles are top notch. The colors are so vivid, everything is sharp and crisp. And as you go on up in screen brightness, HP will bundle in more and more until you get to the 800 and 1000. And 800 and 1000 nit, you think, wow, that has to be the most amazing screen I ever seen. No, what's happening there is as a privacy screen, which means the view angle is crazy limited. It's technically prevent other people from shoulder surfing. If you move out of alignment and you're not completely in front of the laptop, you're not going to be able to see the screen. The screen will just black out. Don't get the 800 or on 1000 nit screen, because those are privacy screens unless you definitely need it for healthcare or financial sector or something like that. Get the 400 or 500. You're not going to be disappointed. The screen is super, super good. We also have a really good battery in here. I was able to squeeze out 9.5 hours without even using a battery saver, just to watch YouTube videos. I'm a field technician. I'm going from client to client. I do IT, so a lot of times I'm pulling up YouTube videos to find workarounds on printers, network gear, firewalls, servers, desktop, anything you can put in a small or medium-sized business environment, I work on. So I have my own HP EliteBook in the past 7 years. Actually, this thing is 7 years old. Look how well this still holds up. I don't even have a bag or a case, just shoveling this into my car and just opening and closing the laptop multiple times a day. The hinges, everything is super solid. This thing is 7 years old. It's actually just retired last week. I'm going to pass it down to a family member, and still going to be good to do live browsing, emailing, Minecraft, small games, whatnot. So somebody will be very happy still to have this laptop. So what we have here is an unbelievable deal. I like it a lot. Let's get through the performance. Let me show you all the benchmarks and games what I tested on this laptop, and tell you that this laptop is not only performing well, but also super solid. One of my favorite things is running 3D Mark and looping 20 tests back to back and see what's the FPS difference between every single test. As smaller the difference is between the tests, which means that the laptop is putting out the performance pretty evenly. And this thing is 98%. I need 98.8, something like that, or close to 99. It is absolutely top notch. This was not really meant to be for gaming. There is no dedicated video card in here, and we have 16 gigs of RAM. As more you're going to go up in RAM, the performance is going to increase. Some of the games or applications are more memory hungry. Therefore, once we upgrade the RAM, we get better result regards of performance. So just for fun, I grabbed almost the cheapest kit, a crucial kit from Amazon. It's a 64 gig kit, 232 gig stick, dropped it in, works flawlessly. All you have to do is patient. Once you put the new RAM in it, hit the power button and leave the laptop alone. It might take 1 minute to even maybe 2 minutes until this RAM will be tested and recognized by the motherboard, and then it will boot up, like will give you a little notification that the amount of RAM changed, and will work flawlessly. This thing is so future proof. It's probably not the most well performing laptop on the market. It's not the most feature enriched laptop on the market, and it's not the most upgradable, but everything as an end user and as an on-site field technician can ask for truly delivers it. The best part of this laptop is definitely the price and this metal shell, which covering every single component in it, in this technically create a fortress around the components. So as I mentioned, we have a 5 megapixel webcam in here. It's a Windows Hello IR capable webcam. Normally it's a 2 megapixel webcam. You have to pay $15 or $20 upcharge for this. Definitely do that. I'm gonna recommend, which I'm normally not doing it, but in this case I'm gonna recommend to get the best possible configuration on this laptop, because as you can see, my 7 years old HP EliteBook still has life left in it. So I'm gonna pass it down to somebody else. It's still gonna work for another probably 3 to 5 years, to be honest. It has no issues. The battery is worn down a little bit, but that's expected at a 7-year-old laptop at this point. So the screen, again, this is a 300 nit screen, and we have touchscreen options in here. So if you go to hp.com, again, I'm not advertising this, I'm not making any money. That's what I do for work. There's a lot of time when I have to recommend products for different clients, different environments, and we are all different. So this particular client needed a touchscreen. So as you can see, we have a 14-inch Full HD Plus screen in here. And if we scroll down to see all the specs, then this laptop is spec'd out really nicely. Again, this is the Ultra 7 155H CPU. You have to have the H CPU and have to have 2 stick in dual channel to have the Intel Arc graphics card, which is pretty solid. We also have, again, the 16 gigs of RAM, 2 8 gig stick in here. You see the Intel Arc is on the list. We have 2 free slots. We have a 1 terabyte solid state, and we have a 1400 nit screen. It's 100% sRGB, so we have actually some color accuracy going in here, which normally not the case. And we have 3-year parts warranty. Now this is a big warning. One of these laptops had a non-fully functional motherboard. Every time I run a 3D application, the laptop just shut itself down. It got to the point when I could no longer turn this laptop on at all. It took me a couple of days to actually open a ticket at HP, and after that, I think almost 10 days passed by for the first response from HP stating that the laptop needs a motherboard replacement, which is out of stock. It's not a surprise. I've been doing IT for 22 years. This is a fairly new model. The manufacturer is usually not anticipating that they're going to have a ton of spare parts ready to go when you have a new model. So about 2 or 3 days later, I got an email from HP that the motherboard is finally available. They're going to send it out, and the job was scheduled for next Monday or Tuesday, when the service partner, not HP, it's a third-party company who does service for HP, did not show up at all. Another 2 days later, I had to reschedule the job. Then we had a lot of snow. There was a statewide emergency in here, which means I had to cancel it again. And then the tech came out, the second tech, and everything went well. Regards of a technician was in here on time, and he was super polite. One of the most polite person I ever talked to. Very friendly. Did everything beyond, and turned out that the replacement motherboard, what HP sent out, is dead on arrival. It doesn't work. So, yep, I'm doing IT. I've been seeing a lot. So, no big deal. I'm just going to call HP and ask for an exchange. That should have been done on the first place. And guess what? It took me about 5.5 hours to be able to speak to a right department, getting bogged up by the HP AI, incapable to understand basic things, incapable to transfer to a human and make that happen. So while this laptop was fixed and it's right here as brand new, I got the brand new unopened box from HP with the same exact matching set. I think we are at 5-6 weeks easily. So if you're a corporate and buying thousands of these, have a couple extra. If you are a single user with one laptop or just a couple laptop and you are doing really critical work and you cannot have the machine going down, get the HP premium warranty. Don't just get the 3-year parts and service. I think for $150, this would be like next business day, significantly better service. So don't get just a basic warranty. Other than that, I cannot see anything but praising this machine. Let's take it apart. Let's talk about the design, how everything will hold up. Hopefully, the hinges in here, it's super solid. You cannot open this laptop with a single hand because the hinges are so firm. All the ultimate YouTuber keyboard test, you can press this down and nothing really happens because we have a full metal keyboard tray in here. The touchpad, the keys, a typing experience, I think it's really, really good. Before we take this thing apart and talk about every single component, how to upgrade, what to do, what not, we're gonna take a look at the ports, what we have in here. And I absolutely love this machine. Like everything in here, from a technician standpoint, taking this laptop apart is a breeze. It is super, super easy. So we have a privacy shutter. I don't know if I mentioned that with the webcam, and by default, you're not getting a backlit keyboard. This one comes with a backlit keyboard. If you ever worked at night, maybe you're not thinking about it right now, but the backlit keyboard, it makes the typing experience or the whole laptop usage as at night at 10 o'clock. I'm making these videos sometimes midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. If I have a backlit keyboard, I feel better. If I have a better quality screen with more color accuracy, I'm not looking at a washed out faded screen with a weird like view angle. I generally feel happier. It's helps me get going and just a much better experience, especially since I know that my previous laptop lasted for 7 years. So let's go ahead and shut this thing down. I'm sure it has updates and stuff ready to go. So we're gonna shut it down, take it apart, and we talk about the absolute best part of this laptop, working on this laptop as a technician, and how the components are replaceable still at this price point, and going against even Dell or Lenovo when you have one slot or no slot for RAM upgrade at all, and even sometimes a solid state now is integrated to the circuit board. We only have one solid state slot, so there's not a whole lot what we can do, but at least we have a capability to replace the Wi-Fi, add a WAN card, replace the RAM, 2 slots, and the battery is also very easily replaceable. So from a service tech standpoint, this machine is top notch. We have a fingerprint reader in here, and speakers are fine. They are down-firing speakers, just like in Dell or Lenovo. They are super small, and you're not gonna have any bass coming out of it. However, it sounds pretty decent. That's pretty much it. And then we're gonna start talking about the whole cooling system and everything else. So let's do that. Let's shut this thing down and let's take it apart. Okay. So taking this laptop apart, it is super easy. HP definitely designed this thing to be serviceable on a side of the road without much equipment. We're gonna have a single screwdriver and this type of opener with a plastic hook. Do not get the guitar picked style opener because it's not firm enough. It's just gonna bend and twist and turn. This thing works the best to take this thing apart. So first of all, we only gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Don't rip these off. There's nothing underneath it. On a cheaper category, HP high screws, pretty standardly in here. And also, since we're looking at the bottom, this is the cold air intake. Do not keep this laptop on your lap. Do not put it on a pillow or a couch cushion because this thing will suffocate and will not get proper air. Unfortunately, we moved away from the design when the hot air was either coming out from the right hand side and the left hand side without any kind of blockage. It just freely flowing out, just like on my 7-year-old model. As you can see, we have a fan in here and the air just coming out. Unfortunately, we don't have that for a while. What we have here is we have all the exhaust vent behind here, and the hot air is technically hitting the bottom of this screen bezel. Now, this is not going to make the screen fail. It's not going to make the screen overheat or any of that, but it will have effect on performance. So these laptops will perform about 10-20% slower than maybe something which would have more robust cooling system in place. Probably would be significantly thicker. So we have a full HDMI 4K port in here. We have a USB 3.2. We have 2 USB-C or Thunderbolt in here, and you have to be super careful because these are the only charging port what the laptop has. If you trip through the cable or damage these ports, that's pretty much it. These are sitting on the motherboard. You have to find somebody who's capable to do micro soldering, and the hourly rate is worth a while to try to replace these ports, other than it's a motherboard replacement. If this laptop is brand new and it's a motherboard replacement, that's pretty much it, unless you have accidental warranty. So factor that in. On the other side, we have a USB 3.2 port, we have a headphone out, we have a security lock, and a SIM card. These ports sitting on a ribbon cable, so if any damage happens on this side, it is replaceable. But so let's take this apart and that's what we have here. So again, all you have to have is a screwdriver. You don't have to worry about taking pictures from the screws or try to pull them out. They're gonna stay in this metal cover no matter what, so no documentation needed. All you have to do is take this and loosen them up until the point they're gonna start coming out and they make this noise. One more quick round. Do not put a screwdriver or anything in here. This is where we're going to open the laptop with this plastic hook type opener, and all you have to do is pray in here until it pops, slide it to the other side, and just lift it away, and you're done. Now, putting this back will not be the process when you just have to put it down and clamp it down. What I find is more usable is have a little gap in here. Like, don't try to just line it up straight and just press it down by forcing it. Have a little gap down in here and shift this down and press it down. I will show you when we put this together. So as I mentioned, unfortunately, our cooling system, the fan, it is not pushing the hot air straight to the side without any blockage. We are bouncing the hot air right to this bezel in here, which causes some of the performance to be lost. We have one solid state, a 2280 in here, and we have a replaceable Wi-Fi 6E card with a Bluetooth 5.3. It works great. We have a battery in here. I think it's a 53 watt-hour battery, and it's great. I absolutely love it. 9.5 hours, day and night, looking at YouTube videos, doing some light browsing without even a battery saver. I absolutely love it. Now, if you're thinking about what if you buy the 16-inch version, will that have 2 fans, maybe have a better cooling system, maybe that will vent out things to the side. I do have the 860 G11 as well. It's exactly the same. The motherboard, the battery, the layout, I'm not saying it's the same model number, but probably it is. And all we have is here a little bit wider on the side when we have the num keys, the numeric keyboard on the side, exactly the same. So removing the battery, all you have to do is remove these these screws in here, and the whole thing just folds out. Doing the memory replacement, you have to lift this little tag in here up. I'm gonna use this plastic tool and just lift this away carefully. You have to really carefully lift this thing up and make sure you're not gonna cut these components off from the circuit board. So just take your time. All you have to do is get a kit, dump it in, put everything back together, wait like, I don't know, 2 minutes, a minute, and everything will be recognized. And this cheap Crucial kit, it's a DDR5 4800. You can put a 5600 in it, and it works great. No complaint whatsoever on the cheapest upgrade you can do. And this is the space or place for a WAN card, for a modem. Now, in some damn models, you can put a solid state in here as a secondary slot and it will work. I tried to do some research. I could not find anything confirming that you actually be able to put a solid state in here and it will be functional. If that's the case, this is, I believe, best part of the channel, sharing the knowledge in a comment section. So please use that. I'm gonna close this very carefully down and we're going to put this laptop back together. If you have any question regards of this particular machine or any other machine, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. It will have the algorithm. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like and even a subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Scott's out. Thanks.